Hello, everybody, and welcome here to the Sports Talk Network. Specifically here, welcome tonight to Steve's Wrestling Ramble. Next week will be a high-impact, entertaining, fun show. Hopefully, I have my whole team back together, including Raunchy Mikey. Hopefully, his schedule works with us than against us. He's always a busy bee working, but hopefully, we'll be able to have him on the show. Everybody, check out my Raw review this week. First time ever having a guest on either of my Raw or SmackDown live reviews, having Clackman on there. Welcome to check out his channel. He might be joining us for the prediction show next week. So I advise my team and others to check him out if they can. If you're busy, you're busy. But if you can, check him out. Clackman, check out his videos pertaining to wrestling because he does talk about other things. But check out his wrestling related content on his channel to get a vibe of how he is, or just watch him on my show, on my Raw review this past week. It was definitely entertaining back and forth. He kind of is in the thinking of Kyron Chase, my co-host, of how Kyron feels about some scenarios and everything. So I think those two would get along if it was on the show. I know Kyron's pushing more to have JD or quote unquote bigger YouTubers that he knows that's like-minded like him. But I think Clackman would be a good addition to his army, so to speak, that they do think the same way him in regards to the product that is WWE. So just wanted to share that. And let's talk about Raw, SmackDown, and some big news coming out today that were breaking news. I didn't do a separate video, but I did do a Snapchat video, I guess, or whatever, a snap, or whatever the kids call it, on my Snapchat. Welcome to follow me on Snapchat and on Instagram at StevieK_06. On Snapchat, I do post a lot of randomness, but I also do have breaking news, wrestling, football, sports and otherwise, that I feel I like to keep people abreast of the situation. So I did have a Snapchat video breaking the news, at least breaking news to me. I think it broke an hour before I broke it, but breaking news to me of RENEE YOUNG announcement. So check that out if you care to. They're over on Snapchat. And we're going to check out all my other stuff. I think it stays up for 24 hours or however long. So I think I have like 6 snaps that are still on my account until they expire, I guess. Anyways, Mark Ramble, I see, has just joined the conversation, joined the hangout. So let's welcome him to the show. And Mark, how are you doing?
Steve, I am fantastic. How are you doing, bro?
I'm doing all right. I'm looking forward to next week. That one's going to be high octane, pedal to the metal from start to finish. So, yes.
I was agreeing with you. I think it's going to be crazy.
Just hopefully we can get Raunchy.
Oh yeah, hopefully. He hasn't been on the show for a minute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, since the last prediction episode, so hopefully able to have him again. Clackman, there's a chance for him to be able to be on the program again. I did enjoy the time that we had on the Raw review, and even before we did the Raw review, that Monday morning before we both had to go to work, we had a nice little conversation. We did like a sound check and general conversation of things, and he seems like a pretty cool guy. But like Kyron, he'll say what's on his mind. If he, this and that, he's not afraid to say things, which is good. He even asked me, do I need to PG myself for your channel? And I'm like, I might rather that, but I'm not going to change anybody. So he's just going to be himself, just like Angry Cruder has been on the show, or Kyron himself. I let people show their passion however they feel like, or yourself, Mark, if you ever, there's something that you're highly passionate about, or whatever, raising a voice, that's fine. To each our own, and how we show our passion or dislike or like, even in the positive way of a situation or whatever we're talking about. But anyways, let's start with talking about Monday Night Raw. Certainly was an interesting show to say the least, but I'll let you take the floor and what you thought, the good, bad, and otherwise of the show of Raw.
I thought it was interesting. I mean, there was a lot that went on to it. The Ronda Rousey match was as expected, really, if you think about it. Brock Lesnar, I do believe, was that last week?
That was last.
That was last week. Okay. You know what I liked? I take that back. I think that caught everybody's attention was Paul Heyman. Now I know that was this week.
Yep.
Paul Heyman is just incredible, man. He's unbelievable, bro. I mean, let's take away the fact that this is scripted. He's a great actor. Like he can go to a movie and seriously convince people that he's comfortable doing what he does. I mean, he, as much as people may not see it, I'm sure he's a big thing backstage, but he's a gift to us. We don't deserve Paul Heyman. I can tell you that right now. We absolutely do not deserve Paul Heyman. I do hope though that Roman Reigns not Roman Reigns actually turns, but like he becomes a Paul Heyman guy. That would be really cool, and also it'll make me more interested in what's next for this feud, because this match, like I said on Twitter, or maybe I said on one of my YouTube videos, I really don't care for it because I've seen it so much. But if they do something as change Roman Reigns into a Paul Heyman guy and kind of make him heelish, then I would be extremely interested. Like, they would have all my attention, because we all know what Paul Heyman could do. As much as people may not like Roman Reigns, we all know what he can do in the ring. Those two together could do some serious stuff, and that's what I pray they do.
Well, either way, whether Brock retains in that crazy scenario or Roman Reigns win the title, there's also the intrigue and unknown of Braun Strowman. Will he cash in? Won't cash in at SummerSlam? So all those rolled within the one. Now adding another layer of Paul Heyman. Will he stay with Brock or turn on him? That's certainly going to make it even more interesting to see how that match goes. And that's probably why it is going to be the main event of the entire show at SummerSlam. But overall, I thought Raw was okay. Not too bad of a show. I mean, we started off with Roman Reigns. We had Roman Reigns against Constable Corbin. Constable Baron Corbin. They're one-on-one. Kurt Angle kind of showing favoritism toward Roman, telling him to go kick Brock's ass at SummerSlam. And then Corbin piping up, and that's how we get the interaction between Roman Reigns and Constable Baron Corbin, which then set up the match, and Reigns getting the win over Corbin. Looks like we're also going to have Baron Corbin versus Finn Balor, which was announced. Finn Balor versus Baron Corbin at SummerSlam. Taking division, looks like we're going to have, well, I don't know if we're going to have it at the pay-per-view, because here at the Go Home Show, or coming up at the Go Home Show on Monday, we're going to have that multi-superstar tag team match for the Raw tag team titles with the B Team, Broken Wyatt, and the Revival. So we're going to have that match at Raw. Will it just be a cluster mess finish and have it again in SummerSlam? I don't know. But either way, for now, it looked like that was going to be the match for SummerSlam, but it's going to be for the Go Home Show this week of Raw. And then the Paul Heyman segment, which was pretty dang good, as me and Clackman were talking about on our Raw review there, and how good that was, and to me the best segment of the whole entire night, which may not have been saying much, but still is saying something, because Paul Heyman, as good as he is, was dang good there. Ronda Rousey, her first match on the Raw brand, going up against Alicia Fox, which I did think was ironic for reasons that happened before WrestleMania. Her interaction with Ronda Rousey and Ronda husband, and now her Rousey's first match being with her. I just found that a little bit ironic, just in that side of it. But Bliss, Rousey, or not Rousey, but Alicia Fox coming out with Alexa Bliss to Alexa's music. Alexa taking most of the mic time. I know Clackman was a little upset on that side of things, why you're trying to pop up Alicia Fox while you have her coming out to Bliss's music and Bliss talking. I think that was just it was supposed to be planned. Bliss being the heel that she is and being one that wants that all the attention. I think it made most sense to do it that way. And Rousey getting the win, that was fine too. But overall, like I said, the Raw show, not too bad. Now we go over to SmackDown Live. Their shows in the last couple of weeks have been great and awesome anyways. Did you see SmackDown, and what do you think of the show?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that? You were breaking up.
Oh, yeah. Did you see SmackDown Live, and what do you think of the show?
Oh, SmackDown was great. Oh, SmackDown was absolutely amazing. It was from AJ's crazy good promo to the New Day. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like the New Day. I absolutely like the New Day. I think maybe they could have had somebody else win it, but I'm not going to be mad at all, because, like I said, I like the New Day. So if they do win, then they win. I mean, and then to top that, their celebrations on YouTube. I don't know if you've seen it. It was hilarious. AJ Styles came in there and
No,
dancing.
yeah.
They love what they're doing. I just hope, as much as I've been hearing rumors saying no, they're not gonna last long after a while. Now, I kind of want to. I kind of want them to continue just a little bit. They don't really have to win every time, but they're just so good with each other. Like they feed off of each other. Like they're so free. That's what I love about them. You know, it's like they do it and they don't hesitate. It's not like they're trying to think about what they're doing. They just do it out of instinct, and that's like the best part about them. I love that. I love Becky and Charlotte. That's interesting. That's definitely going to be interesting to see within the next couple of weeks leading into SummerSlam. That was, to me, very good. And then to top that, of course, how can we forget about The Miz? The Miz with another good promo. That's going to be possibly match of the night. That might just be match of the night at SummerSlam. But I think SmackDown definitely won this week for sure. It was good. There was a lot of good stuff that happened in it.
And I think the most intriguing part of SmackDown Live, even above everything that you brought up, but just to add on, was with Randy Orton situation, having to deal with, or dealing with Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy is going to be facing Shinsuke Nakamura for the United States Championship at SummerSlam. Randy Orton not even part of that match, but talking about how he already wants to end Jeff Hardy, but in doing so, he's already going to make it obvious that he's going to get involved and cost Hardy the match. I would think it'd be best or better to have just put Randy Orton in the match, make it a triple threat match, and have maybe even Orton take the fall and Nakamura retaining the title. However, I don't know. But either way, then from there you can start and continue the feud that is Randy Orton and Jeff Hardy, Nakamura getting a new opponent and new challenger moving forward after SummerSlam. But that is the most intriguing in other ways. Like Daniel Bryan Miz is intriguing just because of the continued promos that we've had and we'll have one last time heading into SummerSlam with that feud and what possibly could be the match of the night at SummerSlam. We'll see. But just in the aspect of really where could it go, it would be the U.S. title picture with Shinsuke Nakamura facing Jeff Hardy, Randy Orton involvement wanting to get Jeff. Um, just that's intrigue for me is a little bit more than the Daniel Bryan Miz. Like for Daniel Bryan Miz, I'm intrigued in the match itself. For the Orton, Hardy, and Nakamura, which is intriguing on where that's really going to go, especially next week with the Go Home show, and then also with SummerSlam. But let's welcome our other co-host just made it to the show, Kyron Chase. How you doing, man? We finished up talking about Raw, or as you can hear, talking about SmackDown Live. So if you want, you can share your thoughts on Raw and bring the table here at SmackDown.
Okay, like I said, I missed the first hour of Raw because I was at my brother's basketball game on
Right.
Monday. For what I saw, Raw was god awful again. I'm not gonna go with my usual energy tonight. For one, I want to say for next week, and two, I just woke up. I thought Raw was god awful again this week. Besides Paul Heyman, which was amazing. Nothing else from Raw wowed me, honestly. Tired of AOP versus Titus Catering.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I agree there.
Seth, Dolph, and Drew is starting to get tiring with the same thing every week. Sasha and Bayley versus the Riot Squad again. No. And then at SummerSlam is going to be a 6-man tag with Sasha, Bayley, and Ember versus the Riot Squad. Bank on that. Everything they're doing with the tag team division, I think Raw's tag team division is dead in the water. Because they're not going about it right. You should have AOP killing everybody. You should have made the Leaders of Worlds interesting, and the Revival should be like they were in NXT. What you do is you bring Jason Jordan back, pair him up with Chad Gable, bring back American Alpha. If you want, you put Dean and Seth together, and you put them in the tag team division as well. That instantly gives them some credibility. I'm blanking because I don't really remember what happened on Raw. That's how much I did not care.
Right.
The Bobby Lashley Elias stuff was bad again. Ron and Alicia, it did its job, but it was sloppy. If anyone saw how sloppy the match looked. SmackDown, on the other hand, I thought was another solid episode. The Bar versus the New Day, top-notch tag team wrestling.
It was amazing, wasn't it?
This is the problem. And like people always say, oh, I'm too negative. But yet you see when I talk about SmackDown and NXT, I'm not this negative. I love the Bar and the New Day. I thought that was a great match. And while I really picked the Bar to win, I understood why the New Day won. Because let's be honest, you do Bludgeon Brothers versus the Bar, that's heel versus heel. The crowd might not be invested. New Day is one of the most over tag teams in the world. You do that, and I'm pretty sure everyone likes that. Now I don't know if they're gonna win or not, but I'll say that for next week.
Right.
What else? Randy Orton, even though it was pretty much the same promo he cut 2 weeks ago, it was still a really good promo. The stuff with Becky and Charlotte, well, I didn't really enjoy the match with the Iconics. The storyline they told was actually clever. I don't know if you guys noticed. Becky, when she locked in to disarm her on Peyton Royce, she didn't get the tap out, but Charlotte got the tap out with the figure eight. I don't know if you guys noticed that.
Yep.
Yeah, I pick up on that.
I mean, I don't want Becky to turn heel at SummerSlam because it doesn't fit her. Meanwhile, Charlotte turning heel is where she's best. But I'm gonna say my most of my thoughts for that match next week. What else? Oh yeah, the Miz Daniel Bryan stuff. Once again, quality, great stuff. AJ's promo on Joe, once again, very good. And you know what I always say? NXT, and even to a lesson, SmackDown Live right now, giving a simple storytelling. And you don't see me complaining or getting angry. But yet, Raw gives us this complicated and terrible stuff, and it's just stupid, and I don't care. And I'm not going to apologize for that. What else?
No, you shouldn't.
I mean,
I was going to say that maybe the number one reason of that, again, I'm not going to speak for you. You can let me know if I'm wrong or right. But I think the main reason that could be, from my vantage point, of why maybe people like you or others that feel your way, that SmackDown Live and NXT is 1 hour, SmackDown Live 2 hours, Raw's 3 hours. The time, you only have an hour for the NXT shows. So you have to make it good, otherwise it just show totally. SmackDown Live with 2 hours, and the roster that you're working with, kind of the same thing. And Raw being 3 hours, and you kind of have that minutia. You kind of have the segments to most, because you're in different crowds or different fans, whatever. Them with Raw, maybe that's the reason why the hours of the show is 1, 2, and 3.
Well, Steve, a part of that is true. I mean, I don't watch NXT week in and week out. I admit that. I watch if something big happens, or like, for example, I watched last night. Gargano and Aleister Black are facing each other. Yeah, I want to see that. Aleister Black and Tommaso Ciampa for the title. I mean, I knew who was going to win the match, but I want to see what's going to happen because they're two of my favorite guys in NXT. So I'm going to watch that. But also, it just comes down to good book. I mean, let's look at this real quick. Why have I been so negative on the Raw portion of SummerSlam specifically? Because almost every match on the Raw portion we've seen before, or I just can't get into. I mean, how am I going to be excited for? I mean, yes, the storyline isn't terrible, but how am I going to be excited for Reigns Lesnar 3 when none of their one-on-one matches with just those two were good? How am I going to get excited for Baron Corbin and Finn Balor when the storyline's been run into the dirt and it's poor? And they already did this match like 3 times. I don't care. And if the demon comes out, it's going to be worse. Because Finn wasted the demon on this storyline. That flies in the face of what the demon is supposed to be about. How can I get into Ronda Rousey and Alexa Bliss when I know it should be a squash match with Ronda winning in 2 minutes? How can I get excited for even Seth and Ziggler when I've seen it enough and their last few matches pretty bad? But with SmackDown, I mean, and I'm probably forgetting something on the Raw side, but with SmackDown, yes, I've seen Joe and AJ before, but the storyline feels fresh, and they're taking a new angle with it that TNA never ran with. Yes, Daniel and Miz have fought each other before, but this has been years in the making. And why I don't have this, once again, I don't have a few concluding that SummerSlam, because once again, I'll save that for next week. That's a storyline I can get into. Even Jeff and Shinsuke, while yes, it happened at Extreme Rules, and even the SmackDown after Extreme Rules, I can still get into it because of the intrigue of Randy Orton. And that's why I look at SmackDown side and say, this is how SummerSlam should look. I look at Raw's side and like, you give me a bunch of rematches and matches I just don't care about and I'm not going to get into. And with NXT, come on. Adam Cole versus Ricochet, EC3 versus Velveteen Dream, Mustache Mountain versus Undisputed, Kairi Sane and Shayna Baszler. Even though I'm disappointed that Aleister Black won't make TakeOver, I'm down with a Gargano champ with last man standing match for the title. And once again, I don't know which side they're gonna take, but the intrigue of who attacked Aleister Black is there. So why is it that you got those two shows that gives me, which I already got Takeover being the show of the summer, and then SmackDown's half of SummerSlam. I think it's gonna be pretty quality if done right. And I know that's a huge if because the SummerSlam's been god awful for the last 2 years. But with Raw side, you're giving me a bunch of rematches and matches I don't care about. So that's why I hate SummerSlam does not have my interest really peaked. Heck, if they add it, and I think they're gonna add it, if they do Andrade Cien Almas and Zelina Vega versus Rusev and Lana, even that's intriguing.
Yep, for sure.
Right, and you already also have on the SmackDown Live side for the women's division, you have the triple threat match for the SmackDown Live Women's Championship. Carmella defending against Charlotte and Becky, which you did speak about a little bit. But that's another match, on the SmackDown Live side that makes it even that more interesting with the Raw brand. And again, as I was talking about in the beginning, Kyrie, when you weren't here, my guest from the Raw review, Clackman, who might be joining us next Thursday for the prediction show, from talking to him before that review and during it, definitely is like you in the way of not pulling punches, saying what he wants to say, going off on storylines and things, as he did during our Raw review on certain segments when we were going through the whole show, on how stupid he thinks WWE's been with booking some of these superstars and some of these feuds. So again, like I said at the top of the show, I implore my team and others, if they have the time, of course, between now and next week, to check out maybe either the Raw review or some of his videos on his own channel that's wrestling related WWE, because I think whether you agree or disagree with him, I think he's more on your camp, on your side of the aisle, than he is on mine. I'm thinking of things because I think overall SummerSlam can be good. I'm not saying it's going to be group best ever. I'm not saying it's going to be pay-per-view 2018. No, but I am saying that with Raw side and SmackDown Live side, it can make for a dang good pay-per-view event from start to finish. Raw brand and SmackDown brand side, not just SmackDown Live heavy carrying the event with the two brands. It's called branded. So that's at least where I am, and obviously I'll dive into that more next week on my thoughts on that. But I guess after we're done here talking about Raw and SmackDown, let's talk about the big news that broke earlier today, which I did share on Snapchat and on Twitter, that WWE's announced that Renee Young, at least for 1 week, going to be a guest commentator for the Raw brand for the go-home show to SummerSlam. So, kind of trial by fire, putting her right in there for a big show of Raw, whether it's a shit show, like I would say, or an actual good show, whatever it be. Having Renee Young there for that one, being the first ever female, even here in taking the place of Jonathan Coachman just for 1 week, I think it's to see how she would do, and see how WWE feels how she's doing anyways, or would do in that environment, because I think the long-term plan is to have her be, again, first ever woman, to be part of a commentary team, but for SmackDown Live. Remember, next year, October 2019, is when SmackDown Live moves to its new home of Fox Sports 1 or 2, wherever it's going to be. So I think Renee Young's going to be part of the broadcasting team there. I think that's a long-term plan, and this just being the start of that. Maybe they're thinking long-term plan, her being on the Raw commentary team and Coach leaving the set there. So either way, I'm looking forward to that, and either way, I think she is the most deserving to get that opportunity. And then if it does go the way I'm thinking it's going, get that job to be part of the commentary team, not just pushing women's agenda, not just this or this, just that. That's something the WWE Universe already think, but she actually earned it, and she actually deserves it to be put in that position. What say you guys? Kind of, what do you think of this news with Renee Young?
I'm actually fine with it. I like Renee. She has personality. She's pretty. She had experience doing commentary because she did something in NXT, and she wasn't bad doing it. And you didn't bring up the fact that she and Beth Phoenix will be doing commentary for the Mae Young Classic. Yep. So she's gonna have even more time to develop that. Honestly, it all depends on how it goes down. I mean, if you have Vince in your ear 24/7, like Raw commentary does, then she won't sound very good. But when you get to the Mae Young Classic, who knows? Vince isn't really going to be booking it. She's going to have more freedom, her and Beth. And let's be honest, no matter how they do, they can't be as bad as JR and Lita were last year in commentary. I like both of them, but they were terrible on commentary. They had no chemistry. They didn't really know a lot. I feel like Beth and Renee might work better together. We think Renee, she knows when to be serious. She knows how to be funny. She knows how to play along with the storyline. I mean, look at her interview with Heyman on Monday. Her, not really, reluctant to ask questions, saying, the way she spoke. I thought her performance was pretty good in that too. And this is the first time. Like, remember when she slapped the Miz? Remember when Joe, disrespected Dean Ambrose when he was injured right in front of her? You got to sell that right, and she sold those moments perfectly. Because how would you feel someone talked about your loved one while they were injured right to your face? And I feel like she knows how to play along with the storyline. I think she'll be pretty good.
Mark? Mark? Mark Ramble, you there? Well, anyway, for me, I think she's going to do well, and hopefully it does get to that point of her to be part of the SmackDown Live commentary team, which I think she'd best fit there as much as, okay, maybe if you want to have this honor for first ever female thing commentary, be on the Raw brand and, be the flagship show. I think it's always good to start on SmackDown Live, and especially with SmackDown Live moving to its new home with Fox Sports, I think that'd be double hold, in promoting it, and have this brand new commentary team, or at least with her added in as well. So that certainly would be interesting, and certainly would be great, and she definitely would just earn it. And like Cameron brought up, she will be part of the announced team for the Mae Young Classic with her, Beth Phoenix, and Michael Cole there for the Mae Young Classic. So it's certainly going to be entertaining and interesting to see that. I don't know if Mark's back, but we'll move right on to the next story that I wanted to bring up, or at least a subject to bring up, and that is the Mae Young Classic. They already taped the first round. Who do you guys see as your odds-on favorite? Your picks, your predictions, I guess we can do that here. Predictions for the Mae Young Classic. Who do you have winning it all? Kyron? No, Kyron dropped. That's okay. I think we're having some issues here with the Google Hangout. But yeah, for the Mae Young Classic, for me, I would like to see like Britt Baker or Daniel Purrazzo getting the win. Rachel Ellering and Toni Storm, those would be like the final four I would have for the Mae Young Classic. And then from there, I might probably want Britt Baker and Ellering being the final two. And then Ellering winning it all, or Britt. Either one of them, I think, would be dang good. Caitlyn making a run, getting some wins, I think would be good for her coming back to WWE, not having her lose right away. I mean, WWE's even thinking about re-signing her full-time or part-time when the main roster and it's in WWE again. It'd be best to have her stay in the tournament for a certain amount of time. I think that would be best, and certainly would make things interesting very much. Let me see here. Yeah, unfortunately, Kyron dropped out. I don't know if we meant to or not. Don't worry, I did not eject anybody. I don't do that anymore, or ever did. But, yeah. Oh, hey, I see Kyron's back. Hopefully Mark Ramble can make it back. But yeah, like I said, for me, my final four would be Purrazzo, Baker, Storm there, and then you have, and Ellering, and then you have Ellering and Purrazzo, and then Ellering getting the win. I think she definitely would be the best one to win the second annual Mae Young Classic. I certainly would hope that to be the case, because from for Caitlyn, having her return, it makes sense to have her actually win the whole thing. I don't think so. Have her at least have a good showing, win a couple of rounds, and we then put up then. But I think for the whole thing, my official prediction would be Rachel Ellering defeating Britt Baker. Then again, I don't know how the brackets look, so maybe they're on the same side. But either way, for right now, not knowing that, that would be my prediction for my final four, and then the finals and the winner I have predicted for that. So certainly look forward to seeing if any of my four make it anywhere close to the finals there. But we'll wait for Mark Ramp to get back, Karen to get back to the camera, and ask their thoughts and who they think would be the best for them to win the Mae Young Classic, because I think it's certainly going to be an interesting for sure.
You said what about the Mae Young Classic?
Now, I was going to ask you guys who you have for your predictions to get the win or make it to the finals.
I have no idea, honestly, because I haven't been following it. Due to work, getting ready for college, I haven't been following it lately. So I'm really not sure. I just hope it's a good tournament.
Okay. Yeah. I'm sure it will. And for Caitlin's, return, I hope she does at least make it a couple rounds and get some wins. But overall, like I said, my pick was Rachel Ellering to get the title and win, or win the whole thing and win the second annual, because that certainly would be whether in her cap or for anybody's. And I think more for her coming on to WWE makes it to have her being the one to win it all. I don't think we have Mark back. I think unfortunately he froze. But let me see here. I was just checking here, see if there's any other news things to bring up, but that's pretty much. Sami Zayn giving an update on his recovery and says he doesn't need any pain medication for his rehab. All right. Too much else to bring up news-wise. So I do thank Kyron and Mark for being here for this edition. Next week will be a longer episode, better episode in general, and also more people. We're having the whole team, hopefully, Raunchy Mikey included. Will Kyron definitely, like he said weeks ago on Twitter and otherwise, that he has some rants ready to go for some matches or whatever else he had in mind that he wanted to share his thoughts on, that he will share then next week during the SummerSlam predictions that has SmackDown Live matches and Raw as well. But I think everybody watching this week's live or archive next week again, like I said, SummerSlam predictions might have Josh Clackman and some others as guests along with the team. I know we will have one female. Katrina said she may be able to join us. So on Twitter, Katrina the Good, she will be joining us to talk SummerSlam. So looking forward to that. Will be great. So I guess this will do for this episode. So let Kyron promote himself, put himself over, where the people can find him on social media and here on YouTube.
Follow me on Twitter, /BroKyron, Instagram, /Bro_Kyron, Tumblr, and DeviantArt. Kyron Chase, YouTube account Kyron Chase. I do videos on wrestling, Sonic the Hedgehog, My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. I do reactions every now and then. And here's one big thing I want to say. I'll be leaving for college August 26th. So these next two shows will probably be my last one for a while until I get settled in. And yeah, so especially from this location, my house, you won't see me here for a while.
Okay. Yeah, predictions and then review, and then taking a little break from there. Well, thanks for letting me know. Mark Ramble, who I don't think is here, welcome to follow him on Twitter. Mark is Rambo, Live Like Ram on Instagram. MFLG Mark Ramble on YouTube. Mark, you there?
Yeah, the thing freaking froze on me.
Why don't you just try to go out and come back in?
That's what I just did.
Oh. Did you hear? Were you still hear us while we were still talking, or were you just?
No, it shut down, like your face froze.
What's the last thing you heard?
The RENEE Young.
Oh well, yeah. All we talked about was Renee being on the commentary team for Raw Monday, and she and Beth doing the commentary for the Mae Young Classic. What are your thoughts on that? And that's pretty much all we said.
Well, if you guys want my opinion on the RENEE Young,
no, yeah, that too. But we just want to know like your thoughts on RENEE Young and the Classic in general.
Well, first of all, I can't wait until the Classic. I heard they already started the taping. I don't want to read the spoilers, because I'd rather watch it. I know how that could get. RENEE Young and the Raw show covering for Coachman, it's a long time coming. It's cool. They're making history. Women in general making history the past like 2-3 years. And I hope she's also a commentator at Evolution. Now, I hope Evolution is just straight women. I don't want to see a single male in sight.
Not even a referee?
No, not even a ref. I want a female ref. I want it to be all women. And
Mark, it doesn't matter. We all know in the end, you gotta find a way to screw Evolution up anyway. So,
And you know, another thing is, I hope they don't rely so heavily on people like Lita and Trish. I hope they. I think I said earlier in one of your podcasts, Steve. I hope they rely on the present and then the future. I want NXT, Raw, SmackDown, and Mae Young Classic. That's what I want. And I'm not saying I don't want Trish to in any way be involved. If she wants to be backstage to have a segment, but I don't want them to like rely so much on them to the point where we're taking away the fact that, hey, there are women now doing good things, doing great things. As a matter of fact, I want it to be all about them.
That was a problem. That was a problem with the women's Royal Rumble in a way, Mark, because
but the thing is, though, I don't think they had enough women. That was the thing.
Yeah, but that's not an excuse. They shouldn't have had 30 women, like I said. They should have been dropped down to 20. But no, we gotta have 30 because it's history in the making. And it's like I said, you know, no one's a bigger stickler for the women than me. But I'm getting tired of this forced political BS with the women. And like I said, the way they announced Evolution, hell, from the moment, even the day they announced Sasha, Charlotte, and Becky coming up to the main roster, to the first ever women's Hell in a Cell, to the first ever women's Royal Rumble, to now the first ever women's pay-per-view. And it's not saying they don't deserve these opportunities, but it's like I said, and I will always say, sometimes I feel like they'd be just doing it to make history, not because they really care about the women. Vince especially. And let's just say Stephanie as well. That's just how I feel about it. I mean, and then like I said, last week, 2 weeks ago, they haven't got one, aside of Ronda, they haven't got a single one women's storyline right this year so far. So why should I trust them to book a all-women pay-per-view unless Triple H is booking it?
I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, so be...
I know at times they could definitely mess it up.
At times, Mark, Mark. At times, don't do it. You know,
come on. We've had some half decent storylines.
How many? How many had decent stories we had this year?
Not a lot. That's why I said that sometimes.
They name them, Mark. I want to hear them.
I mean, let me think. We had Charlotte, Sasha.
That's at this year, Mark.
Oh, you saying this year? Okay.
I rest my case.
Yeah.
But so does not mean that this women's evolution pay-per-view event is going to be bad. I mean, the women's agenda and women empowerment in WWE and how they're trying to focus that more and more and having these matches and having more main events for the women and other pay-per-views. I think having this first ever women's pay-per-view event so for them is a step in the right direction. And I think with Triple H's involvement with it, along with Vince and Stephanie, of course, this show, hopefully, again, in my optimistic, positive eyes, this show is going to be good, and hopefully maybe even better than just good, you know, better than just passable, better than just okay. You know, I want it to be great. I want it to be awesome because if you're going to have something like this, if you're going to go full bore, you're going to go with this show, this women's evolution first ever, and hopefully one of many moving forward. Then you're going to start off with a bang and have it be a great show that doesn't rely on the past. Have them there, yes, for nostalgia reasons for people like me and others. Okay, it's good. I like that. That's a good thing. But to focus on the NXT stars and the superstars of today, like Mark was addressing, and Kyron agreed, you know, to focus on them and that them being the shining stars, because this is for them mostly have, you know, getting to this point to get this first ever women's event pay-per-view. So definitely looking forward to it, and I think it's going to be good. And hopefully they don't. Hopefully WWE does not prove me wrong, but we'll certainly see when we get to that point. Get to October there. But first we have SummerSlam next Sunday, and first we have a prediction show for SummerSlam, which is next week, Thursday, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, same channel, same time. YouTube.com/user/Clean08. Again, like I said, Clackman, someone that is like Kyron Chase, definitely as he was on the Raw review and otherwise. So hopefully we'll be able to have him. I've been talking to him at least a little bit since our Raw review on Monday. So it seems like he is available to be part of it. Now we just have to wait till we get to the day to see for sure if he's going to show up. But either way, I thank Mark and Kyron for being here tonight. And Mark, we were getting to. We're going to promote yourself on Twitter and where people can find your social medias otherwise. Or anything else you wanted to say last before we go?
Well, man, Nothing much other than the Renee Young incident. Oh, did you guys hear about CM Punk and Cole Cabana?
Yes, the Coca Man is suing CM Punk. I really don't have any interest. I don't care that much.
I wonder why. That's what I wonder. That's more so what I'm thinking. Is like, why?
I have no idea why.
Well, yeah, that's really all I had to say. There's nothing much this week other than the Renee Young thing. So I'm good, man.
All right. Like I said, we're going to put yourself over, let people know where they can follow you, social
Okay.
media, YouTube.
Okay, well, you guys could, of course, follow me on YouTube, MFLG Mark Ramble, my Twitter, Mark is Rambo, and my IG, Live Like Ram. Cedric Alexander liked my most recent picture. Woohoo! Yeah. Yes. Be free, be willing to follow me. I'm trying to be a little more active on my IG. But yes, I'm coming back in the swing of things with YouTube. Just put up a video. SmackDown video. And yeah, that's about it, guys.
And next week, like I said, is definitely going to be a good episode, not just because it's pay-per-view, but also because hopefully we'll have our fourth amigo, Raunchy Mikey. Hopefully we'll be able to be part of the show, along with Katrina the Good, with Clackman. Hopefully we'll be able to have him on again. That's going to be interesting to hear his thoughts, along with Kyron's, on everything that's going on with SummerSlam. There are some other guests that may be on board, but so far that's the semi-confirmed list for team members and guests to be part of the show. Welcome to follow me on Twitter at my new Twitter handle for the podcast at @TheRamble_WWE. Again, it's @TheRamble_WWE, the T and the R uppercase. Also, welcome to follow me on Twitter at Army_Strong_06, Instagram, Snapchat at TBK_06. Of course, welcome to subscribe to this channel. Ring the bell so you know when I go live with my videos. Sometimes I do videos out of nowhere with either sports breaking news, WWE breaking news. Sometimes I do that. Also, sometimes, like I did today, did the RENEE YOUNG breaking news on my Snapchat. So either way, somewhere on my social media, I'll be talking about sports and WWE. Thank everybody that did watch live, those watching archive. Hope you have a great rest of your evening and weekend. I will be back on Monday for the Go Home Show Raw review and subsequent SmackDown, and then Steve's Wrestling Ramble that Thursday next week. So, above all else, as always, take care.
Peace out.
Bye.